Like I said, I didn't get to watch any of this, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we have to watch here. This is why I'm
Hello,
watching.
BlizzCon. It's hard to believe that we're already more than halfway through. BlizzCon is an event that I wish could last the whole week.
I really did enjoy BlizzCon.
During yesterday's opening ceremony,
I really did enjoy it.
Aaron showed off a few things the team is working on.
Bacchus, thanks for the 4 months of the tier 1.
Being
Thank you, appreciate it.
up
Thank
here
you.
with these brilliant people, working on all of the fantastic things coming soon to Overwatch 2. I'd like to kick things off this session with a quick intro. I've been Overwatch franchise GM since November 2021. While I spent most of my first year as
Maybe a little
executive
louder?
producer
Here,
of
let's go
Overwatch 2,
max loud. There you go.
I'm now focused on guiding Overwatch.
This is not live. This was on like Saturday, I think, but I couldn't watch it.
Way back in 2013, and early in my Blizzard career, the company made the decision to move forward with a project codenamed Prometheus.
And then Titan, right?
I remember sitting in the room that day and seeing the look of wonder in the eyes of everyone around the table. It wasn't about
Ormus, thanks for the 78 months of tier 1.
dev
Thank you, appreciate it.
schedules.
Thank you.
No, the magic in
I
the
can see through
room
our chat, yeah.
was created by imagination. Imagination of the adventures to come in the Overwatch universe. I had a similar feeling again at BlizzCon in 2014. I sat in the crowd at opening ceremony, and I literally held my breath as the announcement of Overwatch approached.
Okay, so Prometheus was
And,
what Titan
as
was,
that
right?
Overwatch logo came up at the end of.
Because didn't they
the
make
first ever
Overwatch in like a
cinematic,
year? Like they got to come up with an idea that they
love
wanted to
in
do
the
off of
hall
Titan.
Felt as close to tangible as I've ever experienced. Since then, we've shared Overwatch as team-based PvP in the original game and now in Overwatch 2. And we also shared stories about our heroes in our cinematic pieces, comics, and short stories. But there are more stories to tell and brand new experiences, big and small, to share in the future. As GM, I'm leading the exploration to push the frontiers
Somebody just dropped
of
something?
Overwatch into reach.
Did you hear that?
But today, we're very excited to talk about the cool things coming to Overwatch 2. We're going to show you stuff that's very much work in
Is this
progress.
pre-recorded? This is from Thursday or
And
Saturday.
perhaps tell you things that would make marketing nervous. But we really want to give you as much visibility as we can into the future of the game. Before I hand it off to my teammates, I have some high-level context on where we're taking Overwatch 2 and our goals for the next year.
What's that?
We're focused on giving the millions of players in our game each day the very best PvP experience we can. While we'll be mixing in PvE events and modes and progressing storytelling, our main goal for Overwatch 2 is striving to make PvP gameplay more rewarding and more fun.
Yeah, I couldn't
For
see this
today,
one. Yeah, that's why I'm
Our
watching it.
intention is to focus primarily.
Yes, this was shown.
on how we are
I'm
aiming
reacting to it because I didn't get to
improve
watch
those
it.
elements of the game that we know are important to so many of you.
This is I was playing. This is
go
when I
through
was
it
playing
all,
the
we
Le
have members
Seraphim
of our fantastic team
event where
here.
we were playing with
I'd
and
like to hand
against
it off
Le Seraphim.
to game director Aaron
So I didn't
Keller
get to like
introduce
watch
them.
this.
Thank you.
I didn't get to watch this.
Thank you, Walter.
So this is my first time actually
Hello,
seeing this.
BlizzCon. Yeah, so
I didn't get to meet
we
Aaron.
Are excited to
I didn't get to meet
share
Aaron.
as many of the exciting things that our team has been working on as we can. I'm Aaron, and I am joined by our lead character concept artist, Daryl Tan, game producer Monica Lee, associate art director Peter Lee, and senior system designer Gavin Winter.
So Gavin Winter is Winter in chat. You know how we have Winter in our chat always answering questions or memeing? That's Gavin. So in chat you'll see Gavin from time to time. He's the one with that's Blizz Winter in the chat. That is Gavin. So for in the Twitch chat that is he's in here all the time like answering questions or memeing. That would be Gavin. So.
Okay, so let's kick things off and get into it. Peter, can you talk to us about Clash?
All right. Hello, BlizzCon. I wish I have a Chris Metzen voice. What up, BlizzCon? focus.
Metzen had a great, did a great job with the WoW stuff,
As you
by
can
the
see,
way.
I am super excited to be here and share some of the content that we prepared, especially
See how
for,
Clash is. I don't know anything
Clash.
about Clash. Yep.
So before I jump in, let me share a cool video with you guys. So can we play the video? All right.
This is the new map, right?
This map looks familiar to everyone. Cool. Yeah, Hanamura is one of my favorite map. We'll talk more about that. But before I jump in, everything we are going to see today is very work in progress. And as a matter of fact, we were making a lot of changes even this week also.
Yep.
So please, look at this, screenshots and videos and concepts.
I like that they're bringing back the
as
vibe of
that,
Hanamura, right?
You know
what I mean?
Inside of your mind.
Oh, we've always talked about that. Like, we
You know,
like
that
that.
big building
Alliance,
in the
thanks for
back
31
is
months.
pretty
Thank you. Appreciate it.
familiar,
Thank
too.
I think.
No, Chad, I don't think we're going to
looks
hear we're so
awesome.
back 100
And
times
we'll
right
talk
now.
More about that.
And I don't think we're going to do that.
Yeah, so our original 2CP maps were absolutely gorgeous. However, due to challenges we had with the 2CP mode, we had to remove some of those iconic maps, from our rotation, including Hanamura. There are beautiful, lots of beautiful maps in
I
our
agree.
game. Yet Hanamura in particular has a special place in our hearts for many reasons.
Yep.
Let me share my story. When you are trying to create a world that no one has seen before,
And keep in mind,
there's
chat,
a
like, they're
little
going to be
bit
talking
of,
about the new map, the new
uncertainty,
mode,
and
a lot of new, really cool
question,
stuff.
As
So
you can imagine, am I doing
Comp.
it right?
some people have already seen it because obviously it was on Saturday, but I'm excited to see all this stuff because I purposely didn't watch it after either, so I kind of knew what to expect or not to expect.
Mentioned yesterday. Sometimes very
Concept art, yeah,
epic
their art team does an
thing,
amazing
can
job.
start
Like everything.
with a small heartfelt moment. And this is the perfect example. I still remember the day that I created this concept. I was walking down the back alley of the Japan street with the Google map, and I got obsessed about a small mom and pop store, and I loved it. And I was thinking, yes, let's expand this world with our lens. It was a magical moment that I cannot forget. Just like that, Hanamura was one of the first locations that really made a team feel this is it.
Is there a video of me playing with
This is
Seraphim? Yeah, on
Overwatch.
my YouTube channel.
Yes, we can
the
build this world.
first channel.
Our vision of this
Should say playing
universe
Maga with
instantly
LeSeraphim.
became clear.
Something like that.
So after we retired some of those iconic maps, we have wanted to find a way to bring them back because Hanamura is loved.
I am excited for a new game mode because I feel like in Overwatch 1 we never
Also,
really had
there were
new game
so
modes.
many stories
After
we
a while,
had
right?
developed around
So, like,
this city, right?
The constant update to new stuff in PvP
now
and
with
Overwatch 2
this
is great.
new
Like, I will not
Clash
complain
mode,
about that. Whether or
it
not the
was our
mode ends up being
perfect
people's favorite or
opportunity
like
to
top
bring,
tier,
our
I still like they're
Hanamura
adding
back.
more stuff. You know what I mean?
However, the big question was, how can we do this without making it feel artificial? Considering we did not want to remove the original location from our game. Instead, we wanted to expand the world because identity is so important in our game. So we made a new section of Hanamura, a street right next to the original map. And we named our map Hanaoka, meaning flower hill.
You said with maps? I mean,
you
like, the
can
thing is, I think
picture
they'll
the
have,
image, right?
like, good amount of people on the maps. It just,
When you play this map, you can even see some section
they'll be able to
of
update
the original Hanamura, the map in the backdrop. As you can see in this screenshot, there is a famous Rikimaru ramen shop, and you can see the gate. Right
oh, wait, that's
behind it,
that's Hanamura.
right?
Oh, I like how they
We
did
don't know
that.
what that gate is.
That's like the spawn, right? Okay, I see what they did there. I actually like that. So basically, You can still see that map,
when
but you
play
can't.
this,
Okay, I like that.
Game, like, you
That's
should
cool.
be able to tell where you are roughly.
That's cool.
And during this process, we also made a few new assets that can hint at the stories of Shimada clan and Hashimoto clan, also Kiriko's yokai group, and many others. So as an example, what you're seeing on the screen, the tiger represents Hashimoto clan, and the dragon represents the Shimada clan in our story. So we created this new wall painting, so subtly melting the story into our
Looks really cool.
environment.
That'd probably be like a good
I don't know if you can feel it, but
painting to have a poster.
every step and
Velociraptor Commander, thanks for that 51 months to tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
Was pretty
Emongg
exciting personally
Thank you.
as a fanboy, and I hope this map also makes you excited as well.
Yeah, that joy that.
Well, I've always loved the aesthetic of Hanamura, right? I have this discussion all the time about like 2CP. People are like, oh, like 2CP was this, 2CP was that. Like listen, the aesthetic of the maps are great. It was just the gameplay of it, and it's. I like that they're bringing back that aesthetic and like having like kind of showing like they're still keeping like the vibe of that map. It's just like I never thought the aesthetic wasn't good in those maps. They were wonderful.
Works. And Hanaoka pushes that even further. Thanks, Peter.
You like 2CP? I mean, that's fine. I mean, it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, so Clash, it's the third new game mode that we've made for Overwatch 2. The third new
Which
game
is
mode
great,
we've
by
made
the way.
for
I
all of
like that they're
Overwatch
making new
after
game
Push
modes.
and Flashpoint. I think it's probably important to go into a bit of why we even make new game modes for Overwatch. We think it's really important to always be developing.
Oh, one thing I want to pause for a second too. Creeps thanks for 7 months to 2. Thank you, appreciate it.
Almost a year.
You can
Emongg
tell how much
blankies.
you can tell how much more comfortable Aaron has gotten over like the past year since when they first like introduced Aaron as like a game director. You know what I mean? Like it's really cool to see Aaron like start to come into like that game director mode and like be able to really go up on the stage and like be able to showcase stuff. Like if you look back at like some of his first times ever like showing up to now, he's done an excellent job. Like absolute credit to Aaron too. Like he's done an excellent job, and it's so cool to see that progression over time. You know what I mean? It's just I very much have noticed that, so it's really cool to see. Oh, this is the map here too, by the way, which obviously we'll see more of it. But yeah, that's cool.
Developing new maps, and we put out several of them every year. But each time we do it, when we build a map for a known game mode, one that we already have, we can only make so many changes to that map. Like an escort map, it's always going to have 3 sections, and we use
also Aaron worked on
really
Kings Row.
hard corners in those to provide choke points for the offense to get through. We try to provide as much variety in those, but we really can't make something completely different until we start working on an entirely new type of objective, entirely new types of game modes. Like if you look at something like one of our escort maps like Dorado, and then you compare that to something like our Flashpoint map like Suravasa, you can see those are very different levels, and they provide different a different type of gameplay experience too. There's different strategies when you play on different types of game modes. There's different
thanks for the 3 months to
team
tier 1. Thank you,
compositions
appreciate it.
that
Thank
you
you.
might want to pick. So we think it's really important for us to continue to do that. I don't know, like
Jacket?
how
Yeah, the
long
jacket's cool.
we'll continually make like
I like
a
the
new
jacket.
game mode every year, but we're not at the point where we think we ought to stop yet. And so let's talk a little bit about
Which I mean is
the
fine,
history
right?
of,
Like someone brought it up in
Clash
chat
and the
earlier,
history
where you
of
can
5
still
CP, because Clash has 5
take time to
control
build
points
maps for
laid
new
out in a
modes, so you
row.
don't have to
This is
have
not
one every
the
new year.
first
But it's
time
good
the
that they're
Overwatch team,
looking to build new ones
has
every.
tried to
Like they're
make
looking
a
to build
5
more
CP
modes,
map.
not just be
We
like, okay, we're done.
Originally started
I like that,
making
you know?
it for Volskaya. Volskaya Heavy Industries started as a 5 CP map. Our early prototypes were of that, and we had like 5 control points laid out in a row. And originally we called it Iron Star. These images right here were pieces that Peter did
Iron Star?
a long time ago as we were working on
That looks
Iron
cool.
Star. And I think you did these when we were on Project Titan before.
Okay, see, it
Overwatch,
was
right?
Titan. See? Okay, see, I was saying it was
How old
Titan.
are these images, do you think?
I don't exactly recall, but I like it. Let's go.
This is like maybe 2010 or something like that.
Half an egg, thanks to the
we
4
even
months of the
had,
Features Process. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
5 CP maps on Project Titan that we were doing. And we even had a variant of it that was a 3 CP map. And when you look at 3 CP, where there's like a point in the middle and one on each side, it's almost like a symmetrical version of Assault, or what the community would call
no
2
idea. It
CP
looks
for
great.
Overwatch. I'm assuming most of you know what it is. If you're new to Overwatch 2 and didn't play the original game,
you said 5
2CP was
CP.
a
What is
game
this, a
mode
Wrathy
where
base? And I mean, a lot
there
of
was an
some of the
offense
team
and a
came from
defense,
WoW.
and the offense would try to capture
Right? Like,
2 control points in a row.
Like believe it or not, and some people don't even know this, like Jeff
issues
Kaplan was like
with
what, the
2
game
CP,
director for like
that we were never really able to solve.
Burner Crusade and like
The
Wrath?
2 biggest ones, they're related to each other.
If I'm correct?
The offense sometimes would just get stalled out at the first choke point in an assault map.
Or like the game
And the way those
designer?
maps were
Like, he was like
designed, 'cause
OG.
There's only 2
Yeah.
objectives. We really favored the defense from
On
a
WoW.
level design point of view.
So
But
it's 5
sometimes the
capture
offense
points in
would make
total.
no progress in the map. Time would run out. They would lose. It felt like the
Yes, Jeff was a quest designer too, because he's the one that he made the STV quest. If anybody knows the classic WoW and you have to collect all 800 pages in STV and it takes up your inventory, that was Jeff. That was Jeff Kaplan. If anybody who's played classic WoW, that was that was the quest. Yeah, he talked about it in like, I can't remember what it was. It was like an interview or something a long time ago, and that was the thing. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to pause this very quickly. They're going to summarize it, but I do want to read this. So the capture points is 5 capture points in total, placed in a straight line on a mirrored map. Okay, so it looks the same on both sides. Only 1 capture point is active. The match starts with a capture point in the center. Players capture a point by standing on it uncontested until it's fully captured. So it kind of is like tug of war, right?
match had like no story to it, almost like nothing even happened over the course of that game. And then the other side, sometimes because Overwatch can be a game that snowballs a bit, the offense would get an early pick, they'd win a team fight, instantly take the first point, they'd all have their ults, run to point B, wipe out the enemy team, and then like win the whole game or the round if it was competitive, and they could do all of this in under a minute.
Okay.
30 seconds sometimes.
And yeah, in 30 seconds in like the most extreme examples. And it just felt like on the defense, you had like no opportunity to respond to that. Like the answer was like, you shouldn't have one person die very early in the match, you know? And it's like, it didn't work. So we spent months and months trying to fix it. And we never were really able to come up with something that worked that didn't require us to completely rebuild some of those maps. One of the things we did try was we like greatly expanded the cap time for those control points. It was like over a minute to take some of the time. There was some promise there. It was a lot of fun.
That's
but
interesting.
The way those maps are built, defending a point from the defense never really worked. The map geometry didn't really like let that happen in like a fluid way, but we kind of always kept that in the back of our minds. So when we started to develop Clash, we thought of some of those experiments because we knew the community
talk about 2CP,
had a love for Assault, a love for 2CP, because when it played right, it was pretty amazing. Like I really loved Assault. And so we started thinking of a version of it, maybe it's not a successor, but at least some of the mechanics were inspired by 2CP, and so we started working on Clash. And so I can get into a bit of the rules and the way Clash works. That, I guess, was the preamble for the way Clash works. I was a history major. I always like go into the past before I get to the future, sorry. So there are 5 control points. And at the start of the game, each team owns the 2 control points that are closest to their side of the map. And the middle point is the neutral control point. That's
Syntax, thanks for the 34 months of the Features Process. Thank you, appreciate it.
For all the people here at BlizzCon, you can think of it as BlizzCon. Point C is the Overwatch World Cup. The arena over here is point A, and the Warcraft section is point E, all the way down at the other end of the halls. the center control point is going to unlock, and both teams fight over that. When one team captures that,
I'm smart. Thank you for that, British Press. Thank
a
you.
new control point is going to unlock in the direction that the offense is moving. If you've played other multiplayer games with 5CP, typically those have 2 control points active at any time. We don't do it here. We just have 1 at a time. Every time we've tried to make more than 1 objective active for Overwatch, the game just doesn't work the same.
So if I understand this correctly, what happens is you both start with 2, but the moment somebody caps one, it gets rid of the point. So you have to recapture the point. Is this correct? So you start with 2, but then the moment you cap the middle point, it then will take away the next point, and you have to both fight for that point again. Correct? That's how I'm understanding it? It's like tug of war, yeah.
Like some of the magic is gone. The magic of Overwatch is 2 teams working together for a common objective, and the heroes sort of like relying on each other to do that. In this example, point D would unlock. If Team 1 were to take point D, they would then point E would unlock. And if they were to actually go all the way through and capture point E, then Team 1 would win. It doesn't happen that often. It's very defensive favor at that point. It even takes longer to capture as the offense. And so typically this match starts moving back and forth, and the offense will push a certain
back and forth can be fun, I feel
like. They
like.
won't take the next point, the defense will take it, and then the defense starts moving. So it almost feels a little bit like 2CP, but you're moving back and forth across the map. Each of these points, when you take one, your team will score a point. So we do have a maximum score in there. Sometimes 5CP can devolve into these hour-long matches where nobody's able to push all the way through. That's our early out in this phase where you get to a certain score. We're still tuning that right now, but you'll hit a certain score, and then your team will also win right there.
Aaron, would you say it's our sweatiest game mode yet?
Some people on the team say that this is like the sweatiest version of Overwatch because you do move back and forth a lot. You have a lot of moments where there's a lot less chokes in a map like this. We don't have the same sort of chokes that 2CP
Which is
did.
great,
so there's a
by
lot
the way.
Of free movement.
One of the
back
biggest
and forth,
issues
and
with
there's a lot of
2CP
cool
was the
strategies
chokes
you
to
can
begin
have.
with.
You know you're going to take a point sometimes, and you start pushing your team forward to start just getting a positional advantage on the next one. It can be really fun.
Yeah, something I really like about this process that we were developing this game, not like we wait a long time before we finalize anything, and we were just quickly building it and blocking it out and put it in the game and test it and get the feedback and fix it and re-put it in the game. So that kind of collaboration between our team members was very meaningful and in a way very similar to the fast sweetest game mode, the fast pace the game mode. So
yeah, it's like really interesting to think about. Like the team really came together for this. Our team has grown a lot over the years. We have a lot of new people on the Overwatch team, and this is the first time that we've actually created a new game mode from scratch with all new people on the team. Gavin Winter was a part of it. The level designer on it, Morton, he wasn't on the original Overwatch.
Gavin's
so
great,
people,
by the way.
Really came together.
I actually got to meet Gavin too, because obviously Gavin's in the chat all the time. So he was really nice meeting him. We talked a little bit about some of the stuff. Gavin's great. He's awesome.
Okay.
Gavin's the one right next. He's right next to Aaron, and that is usually Blizz Winter in the chat. So whenever you see Winter in the chat, that's Gavin.
Game and heroes, but before
and he's either memeing or he's.
Monica,
Don't worry, chat.
Some of the PvE updates.
For chat, I did bring up to Gavin that when he typed out that goal what. So I'll give a little backstory on this one for people new to the channel. So about 6 months ago, they posted a blog post with a bunch of graphs. And I was like, Gavin was trying to describe what the graphs were.
I hope you had a great time at BlizzCon and hope you are doing well, emongg.
Fluffy Almond, thanks for 3 months of Terran. Thank you, appreciate it. I had a great time. So he was in the chat and he was trying to like let me know how the graph works, but he was typing really fast. So he put, and yeah, so the way the graph works is it shows high ranks, gold and above. But he didn't mean to put that, so he said gold was like, he put gold in the high rank category, so then chat, all the time will come into chat now and be like, oh, I just finished one of my high rank games, gold. Because he had put that. He didn't mean to put that, but that's what he put. I brought that up to him when I saw him. He was like, yeah, he goes, I think I was typing really fast, and then... it was great.
That are coming.
Yeah, super excited to be here chatting with you guys. You know, PvE encompasses so many different things, and we are working on some really fun stuff for next year. For most of it, we don't have any specifics that we can share just yet.
Maga isn't playable right now.
Sorry. But
They
it's
just
really awesome
finished
to
like
see
an
how
hour ago, or
invested
like 3
people
minutes
are
ago.
and what's going to happen with the Overwatch story,
Yeah.
both canon and non-canon, with the heroes in the universe. The team has received some really great feedback from players that we're going through, and we're using all of that to inform how we develop all of the cool stuff coming next. But for right now, I'm really excited to share some major updates coming in Season 8 for Hero Mastery.
Okay. I like Hero
The
Mastery.
thing that I really love about Overwatch is that it isn't just one thing, there's something for everyone.
I really do enjoy Hero
For
Mastery. I like the
folks that wanted a
concept.
solo challenge and leaderboard experience, we introduced Hero Mastery this past September. It's been so much fun for us to see players in the courses trying to top their previous scores and get better, so we're really excited to expand the roster of playable heroes.
Those scores go to the 100th of a second now.
Yep.
It's too OP. Coming in Season 8, we'll have 5 new heroes joining Hero Mastery. Those will be Diva, Echo, Genji, Lucio, and Meg.
I'm excited for the Diva one, because obviously I play Diva. Those are good additions. Listen, I can't wait to... We're gonna get rank 1
Plus,
Diva
we're
on
also
that, okay,
excited
chat?
to
Does that
have
sound
the
good?
leaderboard resets
Rank
go
1
live
Diva
with
Hero
this
Mastery.
update, and we'll also be introducing replay bookmarks, so you can rewatch parts of your gameplay and look for areas
Oh,
to
this is
improve your
cool.
score.
I like this.
I really enjoyed Hero Mastery. Personally, as being a support main, I don't support mains. As a being a support main, I don't get to play the tank too much. Like I wanted to expand my hero roster.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a proper introduction to that role. So Hero Mastery was the perfect opportunity for me to jump in and practice my skill.
Which I agree with, by the way. One thing that's really cool about Hero Mastery, you may not see it for you may not see it for players that have been playing Overwatch for a long time, and it still very much could be. But Hero Mastery is really good, especially with Overwatch 2 being free to play, and you constantly have new people trying the game. To have an opportunity to not have to go into a quick play game or a rank game, or you go into the bot game, where this allows you to understand the mechanics of a hero without having to go and hard feed a game as a hero to understand it. So eventually when this game has all the heroes in Hero Mastery and players are able to go and just learn them through something like this, this is it's like the tutorial that Overwatch has always needed, but it hasn't had in the game. You know what I'm saying? It feels like the game, the tutorial tells you a couple things, but this stuff really can help you understand even the basics of a kit. Which even understanding the basics of a kit is great for learning the hero. Understanding the basics of a kit on how to play against the hero is also a super important part about Overwatch. So, things like this, some people may not be like, oh, I'm not going to go grind Hero Mastery, which is fine, but things like this is great to have in there. Right? In my opinion.
And especially, when I was, doing that with Reinhardt, it was such a great moment for me to learn the a control of charge, when to charge, how to stop, how early should I stop.
That's good. Thanks for the future
So
press.
that
Thank you,
was
appreciate it.
just,
Thank you.
The very fun moment that I had with Hero
You said the
Mastery.
tutorial tells you that the tactical
Top
visor is a
500
game
right
changing
now.
ult. I mean, yeah, it doesn't say for what team does it, so it's correct.
Keeping with the philosophy of having something for everyone, we don't want to limit the Hero Mastery experience for folks who want to play with their friends or maybe meet new ones in-game. For me, Overwatch has been a social game, and we're really looking forward to bringing that into Hero Mastery next year with Hero Mastery Gauntlet.
What is this? Wait, what okay, is this? I think I might have heard.
This new 3-player co-op mode features the Hero Mastery art kit, bots, and all new gameplay that is focused on enemy waves and tower defense. We have some work-in-progress footage up here where you could see the 3
Wait, is this
Gauntlet towers.
This
which
is like
are
a zombies
points.
tower defense mode, it looks
The
like.
goal for the team is to defend the towers from attacking bots. There'll be
It's like a
exploding
tower
bots,
defense like
flying
zombies.
bots, all sort of varieties there.
This
and
is
it's
cool.
really fun to challenge juggling the defense of 3 towers, the different kinds of bots, and different ways to power up. And so as a result, you want to make sure that you are defending really well in your towers, getting power-ups on all of them. There's airstrikes that you could call in if you're being swarmed by bots, or you can generate healing for the entire team.
This is awesome. As I just shared, like I had
I
a
like
lot
this.
of fun with the hero mastery, right?
I wonder if they're going to have like
now
extremely
you can
difficult
play
modes.
hero
I like
mastery
the concept
plus,
of this.
I'm a big fan of
I like that.
like a tower defense mode, and like you can do that with your.
They should have a
friends.
leaderboard. I hope they have a
Yeah,
leaderboard.
and there's
gonna enjoy
leaderboards for this too.
Oh.
So like, there's going to be like. A
Thank you,
crazy
Aaron.
race when
I
this
was-
game comes out. It's
Keep in
really
mind, I have not watched
hard,
this.
Too, is a great thing.
Yeah, I played it recently.
Keep in
and,
mind, I have not watched
my
this
towers
yet,
just went
so-
down immediately.
Like, wait a second. Do we have leaderboards?
I had a really funny moment on Monday. We were doing a stream on J3's stream, and someone in the chat asked, would we ever do a tower defense mode? And I said, that is very interesting.
Interesting
And
you
moved on.
asked that. When Gauntlet ships, we're going to have heroes rotate seasonally, and we're also going to have new custom rewards from challenges. We really want each game to feel highly replayable and really unique, so we're really excited for you all to jump into Gauntlet with your friends next year.
Low key, I think that's going to be a really fun mode. That like, with all the other new stuff they've announced, it might get overlooked a bit, but I think people are going to absolutely love that.
So we've heard just a little bit of feedback on our competitive system since we did a rework last year, and we've listened to all of it. It's important for us to hear what you all have to say. So we've been hard at work on a pretty big overhaul to it, and Gavin is here to talk us through it.
Let's go, Gavin.
First, I want to tell you about our approach to improving competitive play. So, as most of you know, we have some big problems to solve. We're not transparent about how we construct our matches, how your rank is determined, or how our rewards function.
I agree.
Most of you have all the golden weapons you'd ever want,
Yep.
so giving you competitive points doesn't feel great. And since we launched Overwatch 2, we've had issues with the way players are distributed at our highest and lowest ranks. But thankfully, though, these problems make our goals pretty straightforward. We need to put more feedback in the game about every aspect of competitive that we can.
I agree.
We need new rewards and improved clarity around how to get them. And we need to address the pain points. Things like how bad it feels to be on a loss streak.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's-
yeah.
It's
Chat sees this.
we've heard that.
So chat sees this background here. Yes, this is what this means. They are getting rid of the current competitive progress
40
system that they're
months.
doing.
Poggers.
So if you didn't
Much
see this,
love
this
and
is
let
they're
me
getting rid
see
of it.
those hearts in the chat for the amazing streams, emongg.
Zoe, thanks for the 40 months of tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. So just to make this clear, they're getting rid of this part. Now, obviously, we're going to go into more detail. I haven't heard much of this, to be honest with you. Like I said, this was during the time that I was playing the games with and against LeSeraphim, so I didn't get to see all this. So I'm excited to find out about this, too. So
We've definitely heard that a lot. It doesn't feel good to have 14 losses.
No.
I mean, I don't
in
think it ever
Season
does.
9, we're introducing a variety of changes to competitive play. First, we're removing the requirement to get 5 wins or 15 losses to get a competitive update.
Yep. Yes. And I think that's super important.
So, loss streaks would guarantee that you were going to rank down, so what's the incentive to keep playing if you're on one?
Yep.
In its place, we're adding a new page that makes your rank more transparent than ever. Let's go. We call this the competitive overview. With this new system, your rank will update after every match, win or loss. The progress bar at the bottom shows exactly how much your rank increased after this win.
Yep.
You can see that ranking up to Plat 5 is on the right, and ranking down to Gold 2 is on the left.
So it shows
When
you
you hit that,
a bunch
so
of stuff.
When
Keep
you
in
win
mind.
a game and it hits.
Keep in mind, it shows advantage, streak, and calibration, which means there's multiple things going into place here, and it also shows you like what percentage you got. So in comparison to before, it's a little bit different. So it's really cool to see like that type of thing here. I mean, I've talked about it for a while. They've needed a bar here. A bar here. So what is calibration? I think they'll probably get into that, but clearly there's more stuff involved here, which I want to learn
Plat
about.
5, you immediately rank up to Plat 5. You're not waiting extra games to do something like that. It just happens.
Yeah. So we call those green arrows below that progress bar rank modifiers.
Okay.
They show why your rank changed the way it did. since we want to be as precise as possible. So these are explained in detail by the information button on this page.
Thank
But
you
an
very much,
example
Mark.
here
Thank you.
is
Appreciate it.
streak. This one means you ranked up even more because you're on a win streak.
Wait,
We'll talk about that smaller progress bar in the top right in a moment.
does that mean that you have a win streak? Like, win streaks matter again? Am I understanding that correctly? So, like, win streaks now matter again. If you actually go on a win streak, you'll actually benefit from win streaks? Okay, that's good. Because that wasn't a thing, right? It was always just like a... Okay, let me see how it goes. Let me see.
Moment. But as you can see at the bottom, we've also added a link that takes you straight to the final scoreboard.
Yeah, and there's also a rank progress. It might be hard to read. It's a little bit small on the screen, but it's right above that bar right there.
Oh,
and
wait.
Right now it says your rank progress is 85%. So you can see your...
Also, chat, there's a progress bar... Okay, chat. So there's a progress bar up here, up near my webcam that I can't show you. Because I'm just not moving my webcam, because then it'll take me 20 minutes to move it back. It says, complete one... it says 9 out of 10 progress. Complete one game, wins grant triple. Underneath it, though, it says complete one game, wins grant triple. I don't know what that means. So is that like... That's for competitive points? You get more competitive points. I'm just pointing that out, too.
Exactly 85% of the way to the next rank. There's a lot of people, when we get feedback, a lot of people were asking us to bring SR back. It was the system that we had on Overwatch 1. And we did have a few issues with SR, and maybe like two of the biggest ones are one, it was a very arbitrary number to just say you were 2374.
Arbitrary. 2374. Everybody knows
Right.
what 2374 is.
And it does, like, we recognize it does take on meaning after a while for people that are playing
I told you
with it.
Gavin's a
What we're
memer.
hoping here is that you're gold 1 and you're 85.
He's memeing in chat all the time, see?
85% of the way through gold 1, and that actually has more meaning for the vast majority of players. And also at the same time, the difference between a gold 3 and a gold 4 sometimes is it's like less than 4 wins away from each other. And so that wasn't necessarily conveyed very well through the SR system. We really like having these divisions in there, and we really want people to know precisely where they are in that division. And so that's the reason we went this way. Obviously, we listen to feedback, the system can evolve over time, but this is where it's at right now.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
So when we launch Season 9, we'll also be resetting ranks and bringing placements back to Overwatch 2.
Resetting ranks.
So this isn't a full MMR reset, but it will give you a chance to make a big change to your rank because your placements games will count for a lot more.
This is
We wanna
interesting.
do that every year, along with some big changes to our systems and hero
That's
battles.
interesting.
We want to give everyone a chance to earn a new rank because we'll also be redistributing players at all ranks. Those of you in Bronze 5, Silver 5, and Silver 4 know how hard it can be to rank up in our current system, and we can fix that with the redistribution.
Wow.
Those of you in Grandmaster 1 also know that we have more Grandmasters than we ever did in Overwatch 1. So, as part of this redistribution, we're also adding a new rank above Grandmaster called Ultimate.
Ooh.
We want to update our competitive rewards every year, too. So in Season 9, we'll be adding Emerald weapons. Now, this art's not final, but hopefully it gives you an idea of the types of rewards we want to add each new year.
I need those emerald Zenyatta balls. They look so cool.
Me too.
Oh my God.
So when we add Emerald weapons, we'll convert all of our current competitive points into a legacy currency that you can still spend on golden weapons if you want. But to show these off, you'll need to earn competitive points in the new season.
Yeah, and I think what's really exciting about this, I love the new redesign, but there is this annual cadence that we are trying to bring into the competitive side in Overwatch. And I know...
And just to pause a second, too, what I like about... So my understanding of the rank reset is okay, so your placements at the beginning of the season now, or whatever they do, like that rank reset, is going to mean way more than it has before because your wins will count for a lot more than they ever have. So probably more than even when you're playing during the season. And that's once a year, yes. So that it's annual. Yeah, so that first time you have it when it's annual, it's going to allow for you to like be able to. It's a discussion about like if you feel like you get stuck in a rank or you feel like you should climb out of that rank. This gives you an opportunity every year to go and change that. You get what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. So you get like a soft reset, and then it gives you almost a time in to be able to like redo that. It is what I'm understanding.
When we first launched Overwatch 2, the seasonal reset and placement was very controversial. But this is going along with a whole set of additional rewards, a redistribution of players across the ranks, and we think that initial set of placements now is worth it to get everything else that we've got. And it's also like a really exciting moment for players to look forward to on an annual basis.
Yeah, every 2 months was probably way too often.
Yeah.
So going back to solving our problems. We know that the competitive challenges page was really confusing, and that was the only place to see how to earn our rewards. So
I love their style of like, yeah, we're just getting rid of this. Here's just a giant X in the screen. It's like, yeah, you know what? We're not even gonna go to a new image. We're gonna put a giant X in the screen to be like, yeah, no, we ain't doing that. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they're just like going to the new screen. They're taking their old screen going, here's a giant X. We ain't doing that anymore. I love their way of showcasing this.
So we're removing competitive challenges and building a new page.
Oh, they zoom in on it.
Towards seasonal
even better.
We think this page is a much cleaner way to show rewards
and
the requirements to get them.
This is cool.
You may have also noticed that smaller progress bar in the top right again. Instead of our old end-of-season challenges that rewarded competitive points based on your final rank, wins and losses both progress you toward big payouts of competitive points. But just like our current weekly challenges, wins grant a lot of bonus progress. And another small improvement we're going to make is showing the range of ranks in the match instead of just the average.
Oh, that's cool.
That in the top left.
Okay, so just to pause for a second, chat. This shows you the lowest rank in the lobby and the highest rank in the lobby. You see that? You see the range. So you know, like, okay, I got into this game and like the lowest rank in here is gold 1 and the highest rank is, what is this, plat 2? You at least know that. Like, listen, that's Jam T. That's what they were trying to get rid of. You know what I mean? That's what they don't want there, okay? They're trying to get rid of that part.
We're also planning a lot of bigger changes after Season 9, like with grouping and competitive, for example. We want players to be able to play with their friends.
Wait.
So we'll be removing most of our current grouping restrictions.
What does that mean?
To do that, though, we have to rethink how we make competitive matches.
Does that mean I can
So
stack
if you're a
with my
diamond
friends
player
again?
and you want to group with your bronze friend, we'll allow that, but we'll classify your group as a wide group.
Wait.
You'll only play against other wide groups. And we'll try to find groups with a similar shape as yours. So if you're a diamond tank and your friend is a bronze support, we'll try to find another diamond tank and bronze support for the other team. No promises. As you probably guessed, the existence of wide groups also means we'll have narrow groups. And this is great as a solo player because
so
you'll only ever play with narrow groups or other solos. So we expect to see some big improvements to match quality for solo players.
Oh wow! So just to summarize that, there's no like restriction. So like if you're in diamond, you can play with somebody in bronze, but the matchmaker is gonna be looking for somebody of similar things. So like you'll get a long queue, right? Like if you can make that queue happen, right? You can make that queue happen, but it could be a long queue because it's looking for a wider range. Then, if you're stacked, like let's say I'm stacked like in a closer range, let's say it's like 4 diamond players, 5 diamond players. It will then look for groups within that range, and then if they have to get a solo player, that solo player will also be in the range. So that way you at least have a more balanced game. Is my understanding on that one. I'm going to be biased in this and say I absolutely love this because I get to play with my friends again. I get to play with my friends again. You said solo players only? No, it said right there. It said solo players would be in the narrow range for solo queue. Am I right? Let me see.
This is going along with a whole set
of ranks in the rank. So if you're a diamond tank,
Let me see.
Since the only way to avoid our current grouping restrictions right now to play with your friends is to create new accounts. So if you're a diamond tank,
Oh,
and
solo
your friend
versus
is
solo. I
bronze
get it now.
support,
Okay.
we'll try to find another diamond tank and bronze support for the other team. No promises. As you probably guessed, the existence of wide groups also means we'll have narrow groups.
Okay.
And this is great as a solo player because you'll only ever play with narrow groups or other solos. So we
Right there. It says you will only play with solo groups. I mean, solo narrow groups or other solos. I was saying they didn't say that. So, like, more than likely you'll end up in a solo group, right? I mean, a solo, like, versus solo, but, like, if you have to be into a game to get a game, you'll be in a matchmaker that makes sense for the group restrictions. You get what I'm saying? Is that how that works? I don't know. It says, but if it's a 5 stack in the same rank, so just to against all solos, I don't think they're going to allow that to happen, right? A 5 stack won't happen against all solos. It said that you'll either be all solos versus solo queues, or it will find you a group within that range. So let's say it's a 4 stack and you're within the narrow range and it needs to find a game. You won't ever be like 5 solos versus a 5 stack, right? Is that correct? They'll explain it more later on.
We expect to see some big improvements to match quality for solo players.
Which is great. I mean, when you solo, you want to have that good match quality. It doesn't guarantee it's going to be the best, but like it's better, hopefully better than before.
I'm excited because I used to play Overwatch with my kids, but they're teenagers and they just started getting better than me. And my oldest ended up becoming masters, and we couldn't even group together anymore. So now with this new system, he'll have to find another excuse to not play with me.
Yeah, literal skill issue. Another win is this gives us fewer Smurfs. Since the only way to avoid our current grouping restrictions right now to play with your friends is to create new accounts. So you won't need to do that anymore.
So Gavin is? I'm telling you. Gavin is a memer. He's in chat all the time meming. He's great.
Okay, so that's
Gavin's awesome.
That's the update on the competitive system. And you can't play comp without heroes. And I know we teased a few heroes in opening ceremony yesterday. And Daryl's team has created some amazing concept art to show for some of those heroes. Take it away.
All right, here we go.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Creating such a visually unique and beautiful game like Overwatch 2 takes a lot of time and iteration. In the Emongg Deep Dive panel yesterday, the team went through some of these processes, from coming up with a hero idea, to drawing the concept art, to the modeling, then building their abilities, then actually putting it all into the game. We have a bunch of hero ideas and concepts always brewing. And during the opening ceremony, Aaron teased 2 of these heroes, so let's get into them.
Oh.
Next year, we'll be releasing 3 new heroes.
3 new heroes.
A support, and a damage hero. Internally,
I want to point out, I do like that next year. So obviously this last year, they're trying to catch up on heroes. This year, you're going to have each role get a new hero. I like that, by the way, because I know like it's been a bit for DPS. Obviously, there's a lot of DPS, right? And I'm going to be biased, like, give me more tanks, you know. But at least next year, it's going to be a support, a DPS, and a tank, right? So, you know, for me, I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that. Mogg is still considered this year. I'm okay with that. Like, I like that they're doing that. Every role is going to have a new hero next season. So, Jewelry, thanks for the 3 months of tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. I do like the idea of that.
we're already testing all 3 of these heroes in their various states.
And more. We're testing more heroes.
And more.
Sorry.
And more. Always more. Even though
I like how Aaron had to clarify. We are doing more heroes past next year. We are not stopping heroes. Hey, listen, the people who played Overwatch 1, you know why Aaron's chiming in there. No, we are still working on heroes past that. Don't you worry. There's more. How to make it clear. There will be more heroes. We are not stopping making heroes.
they're already undergoing testing, we aren't ready to show all 3 of them just yet. The hero coming in Season 14
Syntax, thanks for 30 bits.
enough
Thank you. Appreciate
that
it.
We're going to keep that work to ourselves for now.
Okay.
I have to stress that a lot can still change this far out.
We want more
including
tanks.
abilities and even their in-game models. But here is what we can show you. In Season 12, the next support hero will be released. Currently known on the development team by the codename Space Ranger.
Keep
She
that
will be
name.
Our first hero for the Mars colony.
She's so cute. I love her so much.
Okay.
Thanks, Monica. We aren't quite ready to show her in action just
Yo,
yet.
she looks
but we
awesome.
do have some early concept art of what she currently looks like. Yeah. I won't dive into her kit either, but she's a highly mobile support hero who has quite a bit of vertical mobility. To that end, she has no lack of thrusters on her suits and all over her boots as well.
She looks cool.
And when we say that things are still changing, Space Ranger is a perfect example. Her gun has already changed from what we're showing here. Not only that, but as production moves along, we will inevitably run into other elements on her design we will have to iterate on. When we fully reveal her for Season 12, we can talk about all the changes we made to her from the early drawings that you guys see over here to the final model and the final concepts. So, Space Ranger likes battling her foes from air and space. How about a hero now that battles from under the ground?
Wait,
In
what?
Season 10, you'll get to play as our newest damage hero, Venture.
Season 10.
They are our second and a half Canadian
Oh.
hero. People often forget that Farah is half Canadian, myself included.
I'm half Canadian too.
The fantasy we're going for with Venture is that of a swashbuckling archaeologist. They have an unquenchable
Venture looks
thirst
awesome.
for past treasures and hidden secrets, and will go any which way to get to them. And for Venture, that way is often down. Venture uses their powerful drill to dig through the map.
Wait, what?
To attack the opposing team.
So how does that work?
Because this drill was so complex in its moving pieces, right, and has a lot of cylindrical geometry, Cajun Wang, our senior concept artist who worked on Venture, decided to employ 3D modeling early in the ideation phases, even for the weapon. And now I'll toss it over to Aaron to show you guys some of how this weapon works.
Well, we'll see
Yeah,
gameplay?
Okay, so we
oh.
have some early gameplay footage.
Okay,
of,
well, thank you,
Venture,
Aaron.
some
You're always
recent
answering my
play
question right
tests.
away. I love it.
Here we go. This is the loading screen. We always do those kind of like silly little portraits. One of our artists, Taki, does those before the.
I love the portrait. They should just keep that.
Burrowing
Wait, you can go under the
underground is
map
kind
and
of amazing,
burrow.
So they can like burst up out of the ground, do additional damage.
So wait, they can go
vertical
under the map
mobility to it.
and then
They
burst
move around
up.
the map really well. This weapon is amazing. It shoots a projectile out a set
Yo.
distance and it explodes right there. It's really nice to be able to hit people even around corners with that thing when they duck out of the way. The dig also.
That's awesome.
Like the most important part of this is it makes you invulnerable. You
There's
know,
an
So
extra
it's like
tank on the
you
hero
can't be
select
hit
screen?
when you're underground.
Well, that would
It's
be
a
the Season
great
14
way to
tank,
escape.
right?
It's also a great way to get
Wait, you're right, there
close
is.
to players.
Wait, who's that? Wait, who's that? Wait, is that the Season 14 tank? Well, it was mentioned there was going to be a tank next season, so that makes sense, but I didn't know you'd actually see him on, like, the actual menu, but yeah, there you go. You kind of get an idea of what the tank will be like, right? By the way, I love all these images right here. You see the images? Like, imagine picking these 3 heroes, and that's what you have right here. Honestly, they should really keep that. I imagine loading in, and that'd be awesome. Or give us the option. You know, now that I think of it, wouldn't it be fun if they had, like, variations of, like, the heroes that you could put, like, when you choose your hero as, like, a customization? Now that I see that, like, you could get, like, you could have it so, like, when you pick your hero, it could be a different version of that here. I think that'd be a cool customization to have in the game. So, like, it's not like what we normally have when we load that up. I think that'd be kind of cool. Then it might get too confusing after a point. Or maybe it can, honestly, it could legitimately just be, like, client side at that point, right? You know what I mean? So even if, like, you don't want to make it confusing for, like, new players, because, like, you don't know the hero based off of, like, what you have there, it could still be just, like, client side, at the very least, right? Anyway, let's continue on, sorry.
You pop up like that, and then you have a dash as well. And so the dash, you can do it in the air. You can dash underground if you want to.
This is going to be super
It's
awesome to
it's
see.
all around just like a really, really fun kit to use. We have this, this idea or this goal that we try to do with heroes on Overwatch, and I think we're able to hit it on
Oh,
DPS
so you can
heroes
sit
a
on
little
the
bit
ground
more
and
than some of
burst
the other
up.
ones. But as much as we can, we just want it to be fun to hit the buttons. You know, like
I
move
agree.
around a space and just kind of have like some.
I love the
joy there.
animation going into
Venture,
the
I
ground,
think,
too.
Is one of those heroes where they just are fun to hit the buttons with.
Hey, Aaron,
I agree.
To expand
I like
on
hitting
that
buttons.
Point, when I was a playtesting Venture, I also literally, just kept hitting, the button, to borrow in and out, without any reason. But it was a feeling so snappy. Just a big shout out to our animation and FX team to make this happen.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no, this is excellent. Like,
Now we didn't show the ult. We're holding that till season 10 until we fully reveal the hero. So there's more to come.
okay.
These are just some of the things that the team is working on. There's so much more. And next year, we'll like have a lot more things to talk to you about, a lot more things to reveal than we could have just fit here within 45 minutes.
That was 45 minutes. They put a lot of stuff in
I want
there.
to say that improving the overall play experience is really important to us. And this goes beyond just game modes and new heroes, but also how everyone engages with the game's meta systems. So one last thing I want to mention that I know people are really interested in
I'm listening.
is a set of changes and updates to the Battle Pass.
Ooh.
An initiative we're working on for next year is a redesign of the Battle Pass. And
Okay.
we're deep in the process of working through this, which means we aren't ready yet to go through the details. But I want to give you a small glimpse of what we're thinking. One goal is to offer players more agency when it comes to the Mythic Skin reward. Let me talk through a couple of specific cases.
Okay, I like the new
Players
map in the
progressing
background
through
we've
the
been
Premium
seeing.
Battle Pass today are able to unlock the latest Mythic Skin each season. But what if you don't play the hero with that Mythic Skin? It's going to make the Battle Pass a little less exciting to you.
Okay.
In a different case, you missed the chance to get Cyber Demon Genji because you weren't around to play that first season. What we want to do is to address both of these scenarios by giving you the option to earn any single Mythic Skin we've ever released when you play through the Premium Battle Pass.
Okay. That's cool.
But beyond this, we're aiming to make play in Overwatch 2 more rewarding with a total set of changes to the Battle Pass. We'll have more to share on that next year.
Okay. I like that, though.
Some of what we presented may change between now and release, but we wanted to be as open as possible on what we're developing, planning, or even thinking about. And this doesn't even touch on the longer-term franchise plan, but that's really a discussion for another day. Finally, I want to say that everyone here represents hundreds of employees on our team who care so much about this game and this work, and we can't wait to release it all. Thank you, BlizzCon.
Yeah, I'll add on to that really quick. This team is made of like so many talented, amazing people, and this is just a small glimpse of everything that we're working on, and even a glimpse of things that we didn't talk about today, like an image of a Peru map that's coming in the future.
Well, there you
go. We also started this presentation off with. And,
Peru map. Now we know.
There was, I'm sure people will talk about it online in the next few days, some other Easter eggs in this presentation that kind of give hints at some of the things that are coming next year as well. So thank you everyone so much, and we'll see you on the streets of Hanaoka.
So I really enjoyed that. I like the things that are coming next year. Obviously, there's going to be more than what they're showing, but like, I think the interesting part to me, and this is, of course, my opinion on this one. I loved that they, in the past year, took the feedback about things like ranked and the battle pass and said, okay, here, we're just changing this. Like, we're not going to sit here and try to be like, no, you should like the 5 wins, 15 losses, and that's how it should be. Like, we're going to keep that because we like it, and that they went, you know what? No. We're changing this. Like, that's it. We're just changing this stuff because we feel like it's this. We're not going to leave it the way it is. We're going to change it. You said it took a while. I honestly, my guess is that when you change a lot of systems like that, it takes a lot longer than just hitting one button. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, we want to do this. Okay, just that's it. Change it right away. Like, it takes a while to do those. So like some of these things they probably have been working on for a while now, but now it's going to go into the next season. You know what's funny is when I was watching that too, I imagine Gavin has probably been wanting to talk about these changes for so long now too. Like Gavin's been in the chat hearing like us talking about ranked. Has been in chats hearing about ranked. I am sure Gavin's been just like, no, we're changing it. We're changing it. We're changing it. But he can't say anything. he was waiting to talk about ranked in this. So I love that. That's like a really cool thing. Like, I can imagine because we've had so many discussions about ranked in chat with people about like, you know, being transparent about what your rank is, having systems to show that you're leveling up, like all of this stuff. And I'm sure Gavin's just sitting there like, oh, I know we're changed. We know. Look at the giant X we put on the screen. We know. But anyway, that was awesome. Hope you enjoyed the react to that one.